Hello everybody, this is teacher Rodrigo and this is our English video class for 9th grade phase 3 week 11. Phase 3 week 11. The topic that we will study in the following video is this one. Leisure time activities, music, movies, book, games and sports is a continuation of what we have been studying in the last videos. Okay? First, we will have some activation, organizing our time now that we are studying from home, okay? En este tiempo de cuarentena en el que te encuentras estudiando desde casa, es muy importante que organices tus actividades escolares. Organize your school activities para administrar de mejor manera tu tiempo. Haz un horario, schedule de las actividades en tu cuaderno, okay? So now that you're studying from home, it is important to organize school activities. Draw a school timetable in your notebook, okay? In your notebook, you have to draw, dibuja, a school timetable, which is as a kind of tablero where you have to organizas your activities from school, okay? Ahí tú lo puedes hacer depending on the times and the subjects de las materias, okay? It's for you to do it on your own, lo haces personalmente, on your own, okay? Now, presentation part. In the presentation part, you will see the grammar point that we will study today, Adverbs of Frequency. Let's read the presentation part. Esta semana estudiaremos los adverbios de frecuencia, frequency adverbs o adverbs of frequency, es lo mismo. Es importante que conozcas el tipo de frecuencia que cada uno de ellos representa y la posición que tienen en la oración. Okay? So these are the adverbs of frequency or frequency adverbs, okay? Always is for an activity that you do every day, okay? For example, you take a shower, yes? Take a shower is bañarse, okay? You always take a shower, you do it every day, okay? For example, you drink, bebes agua, you drink water every day. This is always, siempre, yes? You always drink water. Usually is for an activity that you do most of the time, but there are times you don't do it, okay? For example, you usually drink soda, okay? For example, you usually drink soda. Tal vez tú drink soda from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, but on Sunday ya no bebes soda, you don't drink soda, so you usually drink soda. In my case, I usually drink horchata because I like it so much, okay? Sometimes is for an activity that you do a veces sí, a veces no. Sometimes, okay? For example, I sometimes watch a movie, yes? I sometimes watch a movie, okay? Seldom is for an activity that you do once in a while, like ya bien lejos, okay? For example, I seldom go to Sonsonate. Rara veces, I seldom go to Sonsonate, okay? And I never is for an activity that you do not do at all, okay? Algo que tú no haces nunca, never. For example, I never do exercise. Yes, for example, I never do exercise. See? Listen and repeat. Try to remember the words. Always, usually, sometimes, seldom, never. Listen and repeat. Always, usually, sometimes, seldom, never, always, usually, sometimes, seldom, never. If you want to look for the meaning in Spanish, you can use Google Translate, okay? And in Google Translate, you will find out the meaning of the words in Spanish. Siempre, usualmente, a veces, raras veces, y nunca. Yes? So those are the meaning in Spanish of those words. But when you want to write these words in a sentence, cuando las quieres poner en una oración in English, You have to follow some rules. Tienes que seguir algunas reglas. So this is the position of frequency adverbs. I'm going to say it in Spanish so that you can understand it better, okay? Cuando está el verb to be es aquel verb que es am, is, are. Ya lo hemos visto muchas veces. Am, is, are. I am, you are, he is, she is, you are, they are, okay? Cuando ese verbo está ahí, el adverbio de frecuencia se posiciona después. Aquí tenemos examples. Mira, aquí tenemos examples. Vamos a ver los examples. Después del verb to be va el adverbio de frecuencia. Después, aquí está el verbo to be, mira, que son, dijimos, am, is, are. Yes? So, I am usually tired in the afternoon. My mom is, ahí está el verbo to be, is always busy. Fíjate, el frequency adverb va after, después del verb to be. ¿Y cuál es el verb to be? Am, is, are. ¿Ok? My dad is, ahí está el verbo to be, is seldom at work on the weekend. Vamos a poner otro ejemplo. Dania is always happy. Yes? Dania is always happy. Is, ahí está el verbo to be, mira. Y luego después del verbo to be, ahí va el frequency adverb. Always. Always happy. ¿Ok? Maritza is never at home. ¿Ok? Aquí tenemos el verbo to be, is, y después, justo después del verbo to be, va el frequency adverb. Maritza is never at home. So the same, let's have another example. Michael is usually listening, no quedar bien, listening to trap, okay? Michael is usually listening to trap. Aquí es el verbo to be, is, y inmediatamente después va el frequency adverb. Michael is usually listening to trap. Now, for example, Kevin is always watching YouTube. Yes. Alan is always playing basketball. Moises is never at home, for example. Yes. Any other? Jahaira is usually working, for example. Okay. Is, are. Esos son to be. Is, are. Y después del verbo to be casi siempre va el frequency adverb. Esa es una manera de usar el frequency adverb. Another way to use the frequency adverb ya no es con el verbo to be, sino con otros verbos. ¿Ok? Between the subject and the main verb. Entre el sujeto y el verbo principal. Let's see some examples over here. A ver. I usually do my homework in the afternoon. Esta es la oración. I usually do my homework in the afternoon. Identifiquemos cuál es el verbo principal. Este, do. Identifiquemos cuál es el subject, el sujeto. Este, I. Y entre los dos, ¿qué hay? El frequency adverb, usually. Ahora vamos en la siguiente. Identifiquemos ahora el sujeto. My cousin, mi primo. Identifiquemos ahora el verbo principal. El verbo principal es este, go. ¿Ok? Y entre los dos, ¿qué tiene que ir? El frequency adverb, sometimes. Así se leería, my cousin sometimes go to the park on Sunday. ¿Ok? Next example. Identifiquemos first el subject. ¿Ok? The subject, el sujeto, they. Identifiquemos ahora el main verb, el verbo principal, play. Ahora identifiquemos el frequency adverb, el que está en medio, always. ¿Ok? Entonces son dos maneras. Con el verbo to be va después del verbo to be, yes. Con el verbo to be, el frequency adverb va después del verbo to be, after. Después, mire, ahí am usually, my mom is always, my dad is seldom. Y con el otro, cuando no es el verbo to be, sino que es otro, va entre el subject, entre el sujeto, y el main verb, el verbo principal. ¿Y dónde está? Aquí está, ¿ves? Usually. I usually do, entre los dos. My cousins sometimes go, entre los dos. They always play soccer. Ahí está entre los dos, el que está de red, ¿ves? Always, sometimes, usually. Now, to have a better idea of this, I want you to watch the following video in YouTube, okay? I want you to watch the following video so that you can understand the topic a little better, okay? Vamos a ver, let's watch a video in YouTube so that you can understand the topic a little better. Let's watch.
In today's lesson, you will learn about adverbs of frequency. Adverbs of frequency tell us how often something happens. There are two types, definite and indefinite. A definite adverb of frequency is weekly, daily, or yearly. An indefinite adverb of frequency doesn't say an exact time frame. For example, always, sometimes, never. Today we will focus on indefinite adverbs of frequency. Since they are indefinite adverbs, the following are just approximate frequencies. Always is 100%, usually 90%, normally or generally 80%, often or frequently 70%, sometimes 50%, occasionally 30%, seldom 10%, hardly ever or rarely 5%, never 0%.
Okay, in the guide, en la guía, in the guide, we saw always, we saw usually, we saw sometimes, seldom, and never. Esos son los that we have seen in the guide, okay? But here we have some other examples, okay? These other examples are very good too. You can use them whenever you want, okay? You have normally, often, occasionally, hardly ever, okay? So, estos también los puedes usar, okay? But the most common frequency adverbs and the ones that people mostly use are the ones that I showed you. Always, usually, sometimes, seldom, and never. Those are the more common, okay? Now let's continue listening to the video.
To form a sentence, we should add the subject plus adverb plus main verb. For example, Melinda always works overtime. He never exercises. Subject plus the verb to be plus adverb. For example, he is always happy.
Yay! Whoopee!
She is usually angry. Adverbs of frequency are used to discuss how often something happens. They are used to show routines or activities that are repeated.
Okay, lo que acaba de decir ella is what we have been studying, okay? When you have the verb to be, you add it after, okay? Justo después. When you are using the verb to be, you add it justo después. Pero cuando es otro verbo, tú lo pones antes, okay? Subject, adverb. He, never, y el verbo, exercises, okay? Y cuando es el verb to be es diferente. Ya no va in this side, sino que va más adelante. Okay, let's see that part again.
Subject plus the verb to be
¿Sí?
plus adverb.
Primero el subject, luego el verb to be y luego el adverb.
Yay!
Ahí está, ¿ves?
Whoopee!
She is usually angry. Adverbs of frequency are used to discuss how often.
Now we are talking about habits, hábitos. Yes, let's pay attention to some habits that we usually have.
Something happens. They are used to show routines or activities that are repeated. So they are often used with the present tense. When a sentence has only one verb, place the adverb of frequency before the main verb. For example, Jimmy never watches TV. He always reads. When a sentence has more than one verb, put the adverb of frequency before the main verb. For example, they have always come here for Christmas.
Merry Christmas!
When using an adverb of frequency in the negative or when forming a question, place it before the main verb. For example, do you usually get up this late? To answer the following questions, use adverbs of frequency. How often do you brush your teeth?
Okay, now you have to answer these questions with adverbs of frequency. For example, how often do you brush your teeth? I always brush my teeth. Yes, I always brush my teeth. Yes, I always brush my teeth. ¿Por qué? Porque como no está el verb to be, sino que el verbo es brush my teeth, ¿ok? Ya no lo pongo después, sino que lo pongo entre el subject y el verbo. Mira, entre el subject y el verbo. I always brush my teeth. Let's continue with another example.
How often do you study English?
I usually study English. Entre el subject y el verbo.
How often do you take a vacation?
I never take a vacation.
How often do you go to the gym?
I never go to the gym.
How often do you listen to music?
I usually listen to music.
How often do you go to the movie theater?
I sometimes go to the movie theater.
Thanks for watching, and see you next time.
Okay, so those are ideas on how you can write sentences with the frequency adverbs. Son ideas, okay? Those are ideas or examples on how you can write sentences with the frequency adverbs. Remember, cuando es el verb to be, is different. Remember, when it is verb to be, is different. Because cuando es el verb to be, el frequency adverb va después, okay? I am usually, después del verb to be. My mom is always, después del verb to be. My dad is seldom, after the verb to be. Okay, now let's continue. Practice. En la primera parte del ejercicio, escribe las oraciones en tu cuaderno insertando el adverbio de frecuencia en la parte correcta de la oración, ¿ok? Inserte el adverbio de frecuencia en la parte correcta de la oración. Cuando termines, contesta las preguntas de la segunda parte. Recuerda, how often se utiliza para preguntar por la frecuencia. Okay? So, you have to rewrite the sentences, but correctly in English. Okay? You have, Panchi always drinks water. I sometimes, acuérdese, entre el subject y el verbo. I sometimes wash Winnie, my dog. Okay? Ahora aquí, mire, tenemos el verb to be. ¿A dónde tiene que ir entonces cuando el verb to be está? Va después. Susie is seldom bored in the afternoon. Okay, so you write the sentences correctly in English. Okay, remember the frequency adverb, you put it in the correct position when it should be. Okay, now in this part you have to responder. Answer the following question. How often do you play soccer? Ya lo vimos en the video. I often play soccer. I never play soccer. I usually play soccer. Fíjese, el frequency adverb va entre el verbo y el subject. Okay? Now, next question. How often does your best friend text you? My best friends usually text me. Yes? How often do you have online classes? I sometimes have online classes. How often do you clean your bedroom? I always clean my bedroom, for example. Okay? Acuérdese de los examples que hemos visto. Now, the next part is for you. La siguiente parte es para usted, okay? Production, here. Organiza mejor tu tiempo creando un plan diario con todas las actividades que realizas de la escuela, en el hogar y en tu tiempo libre. Al finalizar, súbelo a Google Classroom o envíaselo a tu docente vía WhatsApp. A continuación te presentamos un ejemplo para darte ideas. No lo olvides, tu plan tiene que ser escrito en inglés. Remember, in English, okay? So this image here, this picture, el cuadro que está aquí, is for you to organize your activities, okay? Para que organices tus actividades. It's for you to organize your activities, okay? Lo que haces every day. Appointments, las citas que tienes, a qué hora y qué vas a hacer. The 3 goals, las 3 things, most important things that you have to do in the day, yes? Your routine, la rutina diaria, daily routine. what you do in the morning, what you do in the afternoon, what you do in the evening. Yes. For example, in the morning I take a shower. Yes. Take a shower in the morning. Yes. And ¿qué más in the morning do you do? What else do you do in the morning? For example, I eat breakfast, desayuno, yes. I eat breakfast, for example, okay. In the afternoon, I do my homework. I clean my house. I clean my bedroom, for example. In the evening, you watch TV, maybe, okay, for example. Self-care. When you mention self-care, is habits that you do for personal hygiene. For example, brush your teeth. Yes, brush your teeth. Activities that you do for self-care, para cuidarte tu cuerpo y ti mismo. Brush your teeth. Yes, lavar los dientes. That's one activity that you do. For example, now here es la hora o el tiempo that you have breakfast. Okay, la hora o el tiempo, the time that you have lunch, the time that you have dinner. Okay. The time to hydrate, para beber agua, to drink water, yes? In this one, today I am grateful for, hoy estoy agradecido por, and notes, notas of important things that you have to do. Remember, this has to be done in English, okay? It's the daily planner, the two activities, your activities have to be done in English, okay? So if you have any questions on how to say some things, you can ask me for WhatsApp or you can use Google Translate para saber cómo decir some activities que tú no sabes, que las sabes en Spanish but not in English. You can use Google Translate or you can ask me, okay? So if you have any questions, you can send me a personal WhatsApp. Bye guys and see you around.